Juanita, I understand around 170 Australians have told the embassy they want a ticket on that flight, and that's the vast majority of the Australians still on board. Around 30 are yet to make up their mind, and the remainder have all tested positive for the coronavirus and been taken off the ship or are in the process of being taken off the ship. That's at least 26 Australians, and I understand there have been more confirmed cases today, so expect that number to rise. So far, at least 454 people have tested positive, including 99 new cases yesterday alone. And I think that huge spike influenced a lot of the decision making for many of the Australians. For those still on board, though, there really wasn't a lot of choice. It was either accept this offer with the condition of another 2 weeks in quarantine or leave, or get off the ship but be denied entry to Australia until early March. And there's still a lot of uncertainty about what will actually happen to Australians whose partners have been infected but they've tested negative. So there are a lot of complicated factors that are making these decisions that much harder for those on board.
So, Jake, for those who've decided they will get on the plane, how are they feeling about going home?
Well, it's a step closer to home, but they will have to spend those 14 days in quarantine in Darwin. The official quarantine here on board was supposed to finish from tomorrow, and that's what's led to a lot of disappointment and frustration. These passengers were so close, they thought they'd be on their way home soon, and they're asking why now? Why all of a sudden put this flight on? And essentially, it's come down to the quarantine not being up to scratch on board. Day by day, the number of cases increases, and the advice from the Australian government's public health expert who's been here was that it was better to get everyone off the ship and restart the quarantine in Darwin where it could be controlled and managed.
Jake Sturmer reporting there from Yokohama. Meanwhile, the first Australians evacuated from the centre of the coronavirus outbreak in China are home at last, almost 2 weeks after boarding a special Qantas flight in Wuhan. The 241 people were able to leave Christmas Island after being isolated for 2 weeks in the detention centre there.
After 14 days behind steel fences, the Binney family are enjoying the taste of freedom at home in Queensland.
Surviving the coronavirus.
We made it!
They were among almost 300 Australians confined to the detention centre for 2 weeks following their evacuation from Wuhan. But they've now been declared free from coronavirus.
I just feel like a whole weight's been lifted off our shoulders.
They've been issued with certificates to prove they're well and no longer need to wear masks.
When we left the island, we had a ceremonial tossing of the masks.
The Binnies were on one of 3 charter flights which delivered the evacuees to airports around the country and into the arms of waiting loved ones. No one contracted the virus, but most were grateful for the care they received on Christmas Island.
When we first arrived in Ireland, they said, "Welcome home." One word, make your heart very warm.
The people there really done a really good job, and they're really helpful, really friendly.
I like to stay for another 2 weeks, but we're already here now, so.
But they're hopeful life will finally get back to normal.
I've got lectures tomorrow, so I need to get prepared, catch up with my course. Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I think so. We'll get back to normal life very soon, especially the kids will go to school the day after tomorrow.
But for many, the ordeal continues because they have family still stuck overseas.
My girlfriend's still in China though, so it's a bit awkward, but hopefully she can get back.
Definitely feel for them. I hope someone could get them out, or this thing will pass.
36 more Australians taken to Christmas Island following an Air New Zealand evacuation mission are due to be released tomorrow. They'll board one charter plane that will fly to Adelaide, Sydney, Brisbane and finally Melbourne. After that, there will be no more evacuees on Christmas Island, but hundreds are still in quarantine in Darwin.